The conquerors are kings. The beaten are bandits. Hey there, how's it going, you guys? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So, what do we got going on today with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? Turbulent times, right? But 2020 has been one of those years. I'm not going to sit here and speculate on what the price of Bitcoin is going to be for the future. You want to speculate on the price of Bitcoin? Where's adoption? Where's awareness, right? Besides that, we're going to talk about the news. We're going to talk about what's going on. We're going to sit here and we're going to do what we can to answer any questions as we usually do around here. We have a few news topics to go over. We haven't been here in a couple of days. I'd like to apologize to you a little bit for that, but the weather has not been cooperating with us any way whatsoever. These hurricanes that have been out in the Gulf or whatever, they've been bringing the rain right through Florida, keeping us wet, unable to get out here and lounge. But today's dried out a bit, so we wanted to get out here. We wanted to talk to you guys. As always, we got Samantha over there in the chat as my lovely co-host.
Good evening, everyone.
Please check in with Samantha in the chat. Let her know that you're here. Let us know what you're thinking. As always, this is a roundtable discussion, right? We just want to talk about Bitcoin because no one here is selling anything. No one here is trying to make money off of anyone. We just want to talk about awareness and adoption and how we can get people, everybody, right, to start using digital currency, opting out of the fiat system, taking power away from those, in charge that are enslaving us through these low-paying minimum wage jobs, right? Credit scores that only help those who have money.
I know they won't give me credit, okay? Like, no.
At least not the kind of credit to really make a difference.
No, yes. Like, they give me, like, the $500 credit card option, and it's like, oh, well, no.
I'd like $1 million loan and try to make a business and
I know, right?
not trying to profit for 5 years. I mean, I think I can make that happen.
I know, like, yes, like the business loan, gigantic. Of course, yes. Give me $250,000, like, and then I can show you what I can do with it. The empire. Yes.
Well, I mean, we got news all over the place today, but of course, one of our news pieces is, banks are shady. We've been knowing this one for a while, but we got leaked documents coming out talking about how they laundered $2 trillion, not even million, trillion with a T. Like the whole stimulus package that just came through, they laundered it.
Like it. It is ballsy. Trillion. Yeah.
I don't know. The whole system is rigged when it comes to stuff like this. You were making a joke earlier today and you said, it's like the game that you never wanted to play. Well, yeah. That really is kind of what this fiat system is no matter what, we didn't get an option to live a life without dollar bills, money, and all of it manipulating the entire situation of everything around us and everyone around us, right? How many relationships could we have had that would have went different with, all kinds of people, not only work and school, friends, family. Finances affected many of my falling outs, right?
Yeah. Same here. I've lost friends and family over like money debts or money like woes or thoughts or whatnot. It is the root of all evil. It's not even, and no one gets to make a conscious choice about it. They teach you in preschool and kindergarten, like time and like dollar bills and quarters. That's what you get is the second hand and $1 is worth $1.
Dollar.
So, it's not even like at no point do they ever say, oh, but you don't have to. Like, do you want to learn about this? Do you want this to be? No.
Well, I'm glad that we're in 2020 and that we have an option, right? Satoshi Nakamoto came along, whoever, she ever, group ever, whatever, right? And now we have a digital blockchain that's running and has been for 11 years.
I think whomever
Whomever.
is the right one because it like umbrellas everything, but I'm not 100% because obviously you did better in English than I did.
I did not.
Yeah, he did.
So I heard someone else saying, and we've been, with all the rain, we've been home watching a lot of YouTube videos. Somebody else I had heard saying, the greatest thing about Bitcoin is that people can just pick up and start using it tomorrow. We have enough of an infrastructure where people can just hop in and start using this tomorrow.
Yes.
But you always step back, you look at coin market cap, thousands upon thousands of coins, right? DeFi projects as the main part of the news. Pastry, bakery, fruit, celery. I mean, the new one is bakery on Binance. I mean, they crashed within 12 hours, getting people out there protesting.
Nice. I like the protest part. Like, yes,
Well,
right?
I mean, when you lose a lot of money.
12 hours. That is definitely a first. No, I don't even know. It might not be a first. Whew.
Okay. You know, they always like to say here, you know, don't invest more than you're willing to lose.
Yeah.
How are you willing to lose any? You know, especially when a majority of us sell time, the most precious asset we have, for dollars on the hour, and then are taxed on it. Not only once, but twice, right? Mm-hmm. When you get your check and again at the end of the year.
Yes, accumulatively.
And then again when you spend it.
Oh, so I bet that makes sense. The government's just dollar cost averaging.
They are dollar cost averaging their money back.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Ah. All right. Bitcoin Hunter is here.
Bitcoin Hunter, nice. I'm glad that you're here, my friend.
Paul Rouleau.
Paul Rouleau, buddy, awesome. I'm glad that you are here, my friend.
Hello, and Zaza. Hi, Zaza.
Paul Rouleau, your donation is definitely going to be putting us over the threshold. I went and looked after the show, so we will be able to get some funds going to maybe do something for us here with the channel. So we really appreciate it. As always, though, you guys, anything that we make around here from the YouTube video, we always put back into getting out there and trying to spread the word of Bitcoin, even if it's not somehow or another buying wires or mics or whatever for
the cameras. I mean, yes.
Then we save it and we put it towards flyers when we get out to these EDM festivals, passing them out, trying to turn people onto Bitcoin. I think I finally have a date set next week where it's not supposed to rain. The kid's going to be home. So here, everyone's going to be able to get together, and we're going to be able to paint the inside, finish up the 10% we got left on the outside, and finish putting in the subfloor.
Yeah, because I think one or two of our son's friends are all supposed to be coming to help. So, I mean, for real, we should have adequate manpower. Because, yeah, the outside is just like, I don't know, detailness. And then the inside, I mean, it's all just beigey white.
But we have a floor plan design now.
We do.
We spent a couple hours yesterday working that one out. So, and we have a 1950s theme, I guess you would say, like New York City apartment in 1950s. I found an old gas stove that's some burners that sit on the counter that I'm ordering off eBay, an old refrigerator that's an ice box, a couple different things like that. I think it'll be really fun.
Oh, there's some nice like steam trunk things. Like, oh yeah, like I mean, you know, you got to think now that everything's out of it, it is just a big giant rectangle. Which then goes to how are we holding anything in it?
Trying to get it to the point where I feel comfortable showing it to you guys. I know I have posted a couple of different photos of it on the Twitter.
Yes.
In order to keep up with what was going on in the beginning. It definitely looks a lot different than that now.
It needs a bath now. We had to wait though until it's paint like super hardened, and it is definitely good to go. But yeah, he's a dirty little bus right now.
So what do we got going on in the chat? I still got news all over the place. Apparently ETF in the Bahamas. No, in Bermuda.
In Bermuda.
Which I thought it was
Bahama.
funny.
Yeah.
That's where my dad was born.
Yes,
on the Air Force Base there. Mm-hmm. So everyone wants to know when we're going to get one here in the United States. Right?
Yes.
It'll happen sooner rather than later. At this point, I don't know if I'm as gun-ho for it as we were in 2017 when we had potentially thought that that was going to happen. I mean, we've seen the futures market. We've seen how it has been suppressing the price of Bitcoin. And we see how right now, at this exact moment, there's like $1 billion worth of futures set to expire Friday, which is 47%.
1 billion. I love how such large numbers just roll off everybody's tongue. Like it's like billions and trillions, and it's just that is some life like what? No. Okay. And no one is talking in the chat.
That's okay, because I mean we could see a whole new fresh set of volatility, right? You know, we're looking at Bitcoin at what, 10,500 right now.
Yes.
People are anticipating that, you know, with the way that the stock market and the S&P 500 and all of this stuff are going down, the price of gold down to like 1,100 or something, that the price of Bitcoin is going to come down with it as well.
Yeah, I mean, I know everybody is freaking out because like everything is
possible round 2 of shutdowns in Europe, which would, you know what, I guess wait and see what happens with the election, and if we would get a round 2 of shutdowns too, as I mean, we're seeing the numbers are skyrocketing right now, or at least that's what they're talking about on the news. Not Florida, we already had our heyday.
We're apparently stabilizing.
Break, right?
Yes. Yeah, no, and Spain is supposed to be going bad again. There's a lot of countries that are supposed to be going bad again and that are, I mean, really thinking about doing lockdowns and doing stuff. So, I mean, I don't know if that is why things are plummeting or not. We're going to know, like, I mean, in hindsight. So, hey.
Yeah, I mean, I had seen someone on the news the other day and they were talking about the TikTok stuff. Right.
Yes.
And how that this is all supposed to be over who actually owns TikTok, right? Mm-hmm. And that in turn, this could create a situation where we start dividing the internet, right? Okay, like we turn down WeChat, we turn down TikTok, you can't have them. Then other countries realize what we're doing because America always pioneers the way. Right. And they start saying, well, we don't want WeChat, or they side with China. And then you start splitting the internet up based on the countries. You know, are they the Chinese internet that has.
Well, yeah, because doesn't China.
Because China doesn't use Google or Facebook or any of these things. Like Twitter.
Okay. So, yeah, they've already banned their whatever.
Right. It's like a whole Chinese internet.
Right. All country whatever.
But we're always talking about how the future is digital, right? And that's how first world countries are going to fight war, is it's going to be digital. So we do see things pressing in this direction of digital, you know, and it may be scary and it may suck real bad that they're trying to sit here and force hands and force a division of the internet. But it does mean that eventually, when it's not a Cold War situation, that people will know, people will have the choice. We will have Bitcoin. We already have the option to just opt in and opt out. And one day we can make the Bitcoin network work for the entire world, especially now with Lightning on top of it. Now that they pulled off the restrictions, opened up the channels, have started working on the back end to combine all of the channels together to make, you know, payments even larger.
And faster. And yeah. I mean, I doubt it is going to be light switch like, sadly. That would be awesome. But I do doubt that it is going to just be like, and bam, we are all just digital. And I mean, that's the same reason why everybody is afraid of countries making digital tokens and stuff. And it actually working, like going more global. That would really suck. I mean, it would.
It's a complicated situation, right? When you see the dollar bill starting to crumble, people asking questions. Right now, they say that there's millions of Americans still without a job, still struggling. You know, we are talking about here in Florida that they want to raise the minimum wage to $15 when we're looking at 8 something right now.
Yeah, it's just shy of 9. Mm-hmm.
The dollar doesn't work. The dollar doesn't make sense. they're not really getting it. People don't really get it. And they don't seem like they're going to get it until it's too late, right? They're going to continue to keep falling for the same trap one after another. It really sucks that the average person can't look at the cryptocurrency space and see what's really being developed to help them. They see the cryptocurrency space and they may get brought in, but it's not based on the good information of that they're opting out of the system. They'll be rewarded for saving. They'll get to have their own monetary sovereignty as they possess their private keys and learn the skills. No, they come in, they're told, you should get signed up here and start leveraging your Bitcoin. You should do this and start trading. You should get into yield farming, and you can turn your $500 into $50,000 in a month.
That is true. I mean, especially now, although I guess that is the newbie facade that, I mean, as soon as you get in, that is, but it isn't that Bitcoin itself is of value. It's that they could always talk you into that you can make so much more value with your little bit of Bitcoin or your little bit of Ethereum or your little bit. And it's like, that is not the way that we want people to come in. I mean, obviously, it's just like when we were doing scams and ICOs. I mean, that is not how you want people to come in and lose money, because you're going to lose money. The probability is so much higher that you are going to be the one that loses money.
I don't know. I mean, at the same time, though, at the end, when we're finally done, right, we will have developed a system that is impervious to the scammers. I mean, they have been plaguing us since the beginning. No matter what new innovation, like ICOs were a great innovation. Anybody can invest in a company. Well, then everybody and their mother wants to make a company, right? They mess it up. Eventually, we'll develop financial systems, which the scammers, which are decentralized, which are open to everyone, that the scammers still can't manipulate against us.
Ooh,
we're doing crazy stuff.
Turkey chicken fight. No.
Where, I mean, here in the United States, they make more bodies to govern. They make more laws. They make more regulations.
Yeah, I mean,
there won't be need for new laws. There won't be need for new regulations. It'll be written into the code that you can't scam people. It's just a matter of finding it. The problem now is that the scammers are luring people into the edge, the beginning of this new technology, and saying you can make $1 million here real quickly, when they just have already learned the tricks of the new technology to take all of your money.
Yes, it's like how nobody falls for the Nigerian prince anymore, but for a very long time it worked very well, because they understood like MoneyGram and the bank systems and how that one check might squeak through occasionally. And then guess what? I know, right? I do feel that ICOs have possibly reached in the Nigerianness, like the princeness of that.
Yeah, where no one falls
yes,
for
I would
it
hope
anymore.
so. I really want to say yes, that we've gotten at least there.
Well,
but
no, they've been shut down pretty much. I mean, you'd be considered a security under most circumstances, and you'd get slapped down by the government. So, I mean,
gotta love regulation.
The opportunity to be able to do something like that is come and gone. But, I mean, the scammers ruined it, and the scammers will continue to ruin everything.
Sasa says the mouth breather from Hey Arnold is telling you to buy Hex and XRP. Ooh, that is awesome. Yeah.
I don't know what I was reading something the other day that the anticipation is now that if Bitcoin has slowed down and Ethereum has slowed down, the XRP is ready to take the next jump, head up to the 30-cent level.
You gotta love it.
I mean, you got to give it to them. They've been here for a very long time. I mean, XRP was here before Ethereum.
We got chicken fights. I love it.
It always happens at sundown, right?
It does, because that's when all of the different groups of them or whatever come together, and they all roost in the yard, but It's actually just a lot of boys and girls trying to, do things or chase each other. Paul Rouleau says a few $100s in the stock market will get you virtually nothing. In the crypto market, it could mean life-changing wealth.
It could, especially if you start gambling on the, lower cap coins, 300 and below. I mean, I hear that a lot of people have done great things with DeFi.
Paul Rouleau has done a lot. So, I can see what you're going with because, yes, like he has had some and a different one. Cool.
Paul Rouleau is out there testing all of this new technology. I remember when he was doing stuff with Tron and Bankroll, and I know that he messed around with the DeFi for a little bit, and he's talked about different altcoins at different times. He originally he had gotten scammed through BitConnects.
Yep.
So he's walked the same path that a lot of us have. And to be able to still be ambitious enough to continue to want to learn more and test this stuff is great. For some reason, I've burned out on that part. And it's just that I still keep seeing the fact that it's the same question needs to be answered. And not everyone is asking it. They are jumping over it and trying to get past it with, you know what I mean? They're trying to do stage 2 without finishing stage 1. And stage 1 is that we need to tell everybody. We need to get people on board, and we need them to understand a little more than what we have going on.
Yes, there's not enough.
As a cryptocurrency community, we've done tremendous strides since I've come into the space where you could say Bitcoin and no one knew what it was. Now, 4 out of 5 people will digital money, magical internet money, something.
They have an idea, even if it's the horrible, that's what they do, the ransomware and like the stuff. Okay, well, yes, you at least know what it is.
Right, you know that it is used as money on the internet. So, once you get that, and now that they have Cash App and PayPal and Venmo and all of these different things, everyone has some sort of financial something on their phone to transact with. It's made it a lot easier.
That is true too.
That's come about in the last 2 years where like everybody and their mother has a Cash App or a Venmo, right?
Because yes, almost all of my coworkers at least have one, if not like all 3 or whatever, because they had other people in other states or countries or whatever, that it was a lot easier to just click done.
Our real undoing is the fact that the price of Bitcoin is so volatile because we have interfaces just as good as Cash App, and we can transact and it would work and there would be no problem, except for the fact that people wouldn't be able to digest the fact that their balance would be going up and down as the volatility of Bitcoin changed, because everyone's always focused in fiat because fiat is what you pay your bills in.
Yes. Yes, it is how Adam Meister says, value your wealth in Bitcoin. It is the Satoshis, but that is the problem, is that it is like, it is hard for me, even now when I go in, it's like, oh damn, well, we're down $4 or, we're up 7. And it's like, okay, but really, that's not real. It's not. It's all exactly the same amount that's in all of our wallets and all of the stuff. So, MS Bidith is here. Hi, Mike.
Mike, nice. Thanks for joining us.
He said someone needs to text me when they start. I know, right? You need to get yes.
I think I've heard my phone jingle, so they should have pushed the notification.
Never know, man. Ooh, I hope so. Okay. Moving to Del Rio, Tennessee. Ooh, to lease a 12-acre farm.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Tennessee's not that far.
Yep, that is not that far. We've drove through Tennessee a couple times to get to places. Yeah.
Yes, of course. Oh, the bird coming closer over there, Samantha.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. What did I have here on
12
the list?
acres. 12 acres. What?
We talked about the price, right?
Ooh.
Coming down, people wanting to blame it on COVID, mixing it with the stock market. We talked about the ETF from Bermuda on their stock market by their stock exchange by the end of the year. So that's, getting us closer, right? The US will get one eventually. We got 1 billion worth of futures set to expire on Friday. We got TikTok splitting the internet.
Mm-hmm.
What else? We got 2 trillion from the banks being laundered, coming from leaked documents. And then we got Bakery, the DeFi protocol on Binance, on BNB.
I do just love that it's all food related. I do. I don't know why. It's horrible. Right. It's horrible. I love it. It's like the fat kid in me. I'm just, yes. All right, where are we at? Okay.
Get the
November.
Cannolis. Yeah, you got the cannolis.
All right, so he will be in Tennessee in November 1st. In 2 months, 12 acres. He says a river runs through the backyard.
Nice.
And that we could have a party there. Oh, we need to have a party there.
Right?
I am sure your bus, it could be done in 2 months.
Our bus.
Yeah. Why not? Of course.
Yeah, I mean, COVID's about to end here, hopefully, and we'll be able to get back out there soon. Fingers crossed still. I haven't put any money down on any tickets. I've seen a few different places taking money for tickets. With the way how people didn't get their money back, or, they took the 20 or 30%, I really don't want to put money down on a ticket until I see, an event actually go off. We've seen that there's going to be one in Orlando.
Yeah, the drive-through thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's going to be in your car.
Well, we don't know because, it was labeled a drive-through.
Yes.
It was labeled a drive-through. But then it said something about having personal, pedestal or podium things or something for edit. So I'm not 100%.
Like those fences.
Yeah.
The waist-high metal ones making squares for you and your group spaced out away from each other. Or if it was like a drive-in and you got to park your car. But somehow they're social distancing everybody. But, I mean, if it's a drive-in, I thought that we could definitely go rock the bus. That would be kind of fun. But then I have to get a hold of them and make sure that the bus isn't too big for one of their parking spots and that they're, would allow me in.
That would be hilarious. Yes, to be like, no, sorry, there is a size and weight limit.
Yeah, the people behind you can't see through their windshield.
No, the point is
the ass of your bus.
Right? You're like, what limit do you need? If we have 20 people in the bus, will it count for 3 spaces? You never know. Okay. But yes, that was the only one. I mean, it did pique our interest. It sucks that no one has any idea what's actually going to happen in the coming year, I guess. I mean, we're already getting screwed out of these holidays. I mean, almost everybody has banned, shut down, whatever, killed.
I don't know. I mean, it felt like it was one of those great ideals, when I came up with the ideal to go to EDM festivals and pass out Bitcoin flyers. I was taking a couple different ideals that were going on at the time and put it all together and came up with that. We went out, we did it for a year. We went to 5 events. We went to 5 events.
Yeah, it was 5.
And it was great. So not doing it this year, all right, that sucks, but I mean, to have to come up with another ideal in order to pass out flyers, that's not really going to be easy. But I mean, if we continue much longer, that's what we'll have to do. I mean, we've already invested quite a bit in getting the bus ready. We definitely have to somehow continue our journey. Falling down is not a reason not to get back up. So just because the world's going to be different means that we have to change and adapt with it. So if we can't get back out to EDM festivals because it takes too long or they don't do them anymore, whatever, there will be something. So.
All right. Mike says that there's nothing stopping us from having our own event and that we ought to how to talk seriously about our own meetup. He can bring mushrooms for the barbecue. I love all mushrooms, every single one. I do remember when we lived in Alaska, my grandfather was he was a weird hippie because to the best of my knowledge, he has always lived in a pull behind 70s trailer type stuff in the middle of nowhere. Now he lives in a log cabin that he apparently built himself with one arm. But he would go and go out into the woods because he only visited in the summer because let's face it, Alaska, only summer. That's the only time there's anything. But he would go and pick mushrooms and I would go with him. But obviously I was young and I never learned anything. But yeah, I remember eating them, and they were awesome, and I didn't die, so they can't be that bad. Paul Rillo says BitConnects was just before his time. That sun mining was the scam that got him good. It was R.R. Rafterman who was BitConnects. We've actually had a few people that were BitConnects as our chat friends, where it's like, oh.
See, BitConnect, like some Genesis mining was.
Oh yeah, that was a real.
Was kind of mine, like, but that's when I realized how scammy the space was, right? And it was that I had invested money in Genesis mining, and if it wasn't for everybody else using my affiliation code from the beginning of using this channel, I don't know if I would have got back my money, but I did end up getting back my money plus extra.
Oh right? Yeah, it was. You're right, because there was a lot. Like, I do remember.
We Need to Talk was one of our first friends who started using our Genesis mining code quite a bit.
Yes, and it was like every time you upgraded or you yes, like it was a lot. I do remember. Yes, I remember they like emailed you not even that long ago saying that they were still
yeah, that they had Ethereum mining equipment coming back online.
I mean, the way we got scammed, I haven't heard anybody that way. I mean, that was literally, it was like peer-to-peer scamming, because like with the
eBay stuff. No, I haven't heard of anybody really getting scammed in the situation where they send out Bitcoin or Ethereum and then they don't receive payment back through the third-party system. A lot of people have learned on that one.
Yeah, it was just our dumbasses.
Well, I mean, that's the point, is that as time goes on in this space, everybody is constantly scamming each other, and the cryptocurrency space is going to develop a way around it, right? It's going to develop ways that you can't scam everybody.
All right, where are we at?
I mean, now what? Now the latest thing is that we're seeing the third parties get involved and blacklist scammers' address and not allow you to send cryptocurrency to them, like within minutes.
Yes.
So,
which half the people are like that, and half the people, I mean, I get it.
Well, I mean, if you're one of the people that is going to be sending it to them, you're probably also one of the people that's going to be keeping your cryptocurrency as the third-party system. So,
yeah, if that's one of your first scams and you didn't get